Greetings from the Au Sable River in Michigan. My brother and I are paddling about 120 miles on the Au Sable from Grayling out to Lake Huron. Well, just a short time today, about an hour and a half into it, we've already seen lots of ducks. We've seen a fawn right by the shore. Of course, I'm not quick enough to get my camera out for that one. So, and then what do we see? We see a squirrel and yeah, some Canadian geese. So yeah, we'll check out some, we'll do some videos here and some pictures to kind of show you what it's like around here, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Very light sprinkle. It's about 70 degrees. Can't complain. Turn. We're about 3.5 hours into the paddle right now. Looks like we're about halfway to our destination for the night if we make it to where we are intending. There's a few other spots along the way, so kind of got them mapped out, and if we don't make it to the one we were hoping to, that's all right. So peaceful up here. A lot of down trees all along the riverbank. I think it is. Julie, come down and say hi. Why is she coming down?
Those old trees down like that are kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. So right over here, you can see these little, all these logs sitting there. They have these all throughout the river. Pretty sure it's to give some structure for trout. so it can stay nice and cool and they can hide in there. If that's wrong, let me know. They're all over. It's pretty cool. This little, I thought they were little boat shacks, but they got some chairs in there. Here's another one of those. Yeah, I think they can launch canoes from there. And they got chairs in there. Okay, we made it to campsite here. Oh, long day. It was about a little over 7.5 hours. Got everything unloaded here. We're gonna go scout the area for a campsite. This is Rainbow Bend. Rainbow Bend. So we did about 23 miles today. We're pretty tuckered. So we've got the whole place to ourselves. So, Rainbow Bend, it's got a nice view of the Au Sable. All right, so we're gonna pick our site, set up the tent, make some dinner. We have Spanish rice, chorizo, and Mexican beans on the menu tonight. All right, time to set up that tent. All right, we got the campsite all set up. Here's the tent. Got the river right down there. Doesn't get any better than that. Isn't that beautiful? Got the canoe over there. We just made some dinner. We're eating like kings tonight, folks. Spanish rice with chorizo, some Mexican style beans, and then some Baja corn. So we are definitely hungry and we are going to enjoy eating this. We're going to be probably chilling by a fire after the after dinner here, and then we're going to hit the sack. Day 2 tomorrow. Right out there. Have a good one. Morning. It's Friday morning here. It's about 7 o'clock now. Got my coffee going. So today we have about 26 miles to canoe on the Au Sable here. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm camping. Yeah. So anyway, 26 miles today. We're gonna cook up some breakfast here, probably do some pancakes and sausage before we pack everything up. Put it back in the canoe and hit the water. So there's a chance of rain today. Hopefully it holds off, but if not, we're prepared. So we have stuff to stay dry. All right, I finished enjoying this coffee and then get some breakfast. All righty, we are all packed up. Just before 9 o'clock, hitting the river. We have 26 miles to go today, about 9.5 hours, so probably get going. Cruising right along. I don't know what it is. It looks like I looked into something here, I think. Rock bass. Look at that.
It's delicious.
Is that big enough to keep? Well, I think we should toss this one back. Oh, there it goes. Okay guys, so this is the Mile Pond. Right here is the power dam, consumers energy. So right up in there, around that corner, that's where the campsite is. Here's the deal. Plan was for tomorrow to go over into this side. So the issue is we'd unload everything over there tonight because we're tired. 49 miles to right up there. So what that meant was tomorrow morning we'd have to pack and load the entire canoe, paddle right over to right here, right by the dam, unload everything to portage across to the other side, which is right down this path. So we don't want to unload or load, unload, and then load in about a 10-minute span. So we decided to push on a little bit further tonight. This is day 2. We're exhausted, but setting ourselves up for better tomorrow because we're going to go a little further. A few miles downriver is another campsite. There's a few actually, but this is below the power dam. It is a little bit faster moving river. So we're setting ourselves up not only to be further tonight, but setting ourselves up for an easier tomorrow morning. So I'll show you the power dam here. As a lot of you know, we grew up in the UP. Menominee River has a lot of power dams. So this is nothing new to us, but maybe you haven't seen this before. And those floodgates right there open up when it's really flooded, and they need to let it flow through. So the siren will sound when that happens, and you got to get out of the river. So we had to take all our stuff. The heavy stuff we got out. We brought the canoe all the way down here, then we carried everything down here, and we brought it right over here to this little ramp. This ramp here is to slide canoe and kayaks down. And there we are. So there's Tom, and him and I are both tired. Are you tired, Tom? That's a yes, that's an affirmative. But like I said, campsite's a few miles downstream, so we'll be ballpark maybe 52. We'll be past the halfway point, about at the exact halfway point of the entire thing at the end of night 2 or day 2. All right, so we're almost at camp. Continuing on. Okay, so we portaged over the dam there, the first one at mile, probably, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. It is so weird. So on the other side of the dam, like way back there on Mile Pond, as you saw in the video, it's basically a lake, right? Because it's the backwaters for the dam, and there's all kinds of recreation. A little bit further up, there's houses and just definitely a lot of like population and that kind of thing. Go past the dam. You can see how shallow it is right here. Shallower usually means faster waters, and that's the case. But you go past the dam where we are here, and we just like went around the corner, and you could tell me, or I could tell you watching this video, that we were up in Canada. You'd have no idea. It's like so remote just from passing that. It's just beautiful. The birds. So, there's some wood ducks over there. I saw a lot of them. But anyway, I just want to show what it looks like on this side of the river. It's definitely motivating. I'm glad that we did the portage, as tired as we were. It's very motivating now, going from paddling on that pond, that lake. It's slow going. Here, it's pretty quick. Look how quick we're going, and I'm not even paddling. Tom is. So anyway, we'll see how long till we get to camp. The camps on this one, also worth mentioning, are part of like the, I think it's a national forest sites, and I think it's only like one site per like campsite. So very remote, just off the water. It'll be pretty cool. So anyway, onward we go. So the first campsite we went to, there was occupied, so we can go down a little further. And before the next campsite here, there's this landmark called Big Cedar. So I wanted to check it out. So we finally found where it is. And you see it sitting right in there. There it is. Now, problem, it snapped off. So it's no longer a tall, big cedar. So, it doesn't have the height anymore. That's sad. And we walk through this long grass. We're going to check ourselves for ticks. And then we're going to head back and hope that the next campsite does not have people in it. Continue on. Two other deer before we saw that one. Right now we're on our way to the campsite. Hopefully no one's there. We're just about there. It's 11 and a half hours we've been on the river today. We're quite hungry. We did eat lunch, but we're quite hungry. Almost there. Alrighty. Whew. We are at our campsite, second night. Finally So we got the canoe up. Emptied this stuff out first. So here's what we're up against here. So here's the river, the Au Sable, and we pulled it right up here. So this is a great canoe. It's awesome. It's virtually untippable. It's can haul a lot. That being said, think about the weight of the canoe. Not just how much stuff you're bringing, but think about the weight of the canoe if you're thinking about doing a trip like this. Whew. So, all right, so this is on federal land. Nice forest here that was planted. See these rows here? You can see telltale sign that it was planted. That's not a natural forest. Look at that. Someone else. What's wrong with people? Leaving this? Someone has to take care of it. Don't be that person. There's Tom going down there exploring. So we're exhausted. It is now 15 minutes from being 12 hours after we've set off this morning. But we're well past the halfway point. We're probably, at this point, it's hard to tell mileage because these are on just some sites that are on federal land. But if I were to guess that the campsite at the Mayo Pond before the dam, that was at 49. This is at least minimum 55, maybe a little more. But I'd say probably, conservatively, I could guess this is 55 miles in from Grayling. So, all right, so like I said, we're tired. We are super hungry. We had bagels with peanut butter for lunch. We're gonna make a chicken stir fry with noodles tonight. Got everything all prepped, dehydrated and whatnot. So we're gonna get that going and eat some food and probably crash. But we're way ahead of schedule for tomorrow. So, all right, time to cook some food. Good morning, everybody. It is about 6:30, the morning of day 3. So, a little bit of a wet one today. It was a lot of rain, some storms last night. We stayed dry, it was fine, but it is a little wet. It's kind of just sprinkling now and it's supposed to stop, I guess, raining in a short while here. Then we're supposed to have like a window of no rain. So we're gonna use that window to get everything packed up and hit the road, hit the river, and see how far we can get in. It's supposed to rain a little bit later on, and we have some covers for our stuff when it's in the canoe, but it is what it is, right? So anyway, here's the river. We're gonna make some coffee here, and we were gonna make some pancakes, but since we have a window here, we might just eat some muffins that we brought and save the pancakes for another day. So here we are, time to get coffee. All right, we are just setting off here, day 3 of 5. Having some issues with my battery bank, the backup there, so might be a little limited on the videos I shoot here, but we are headed out. We're going right through a bush, but yeah, so hopefully the rain stays away and get these gray skies as Tom's leading me through a bush here. Hopefully the rain stays away and it's just gray skies, because gray skies will be nice to keep that sun away. Got a little sunburn on our legs yesterday, but here we are. We're off day 3 of 5. We're gonna maybe get a little bit ahead today, so we'll see. Like to have an easy day for that last day. So signing out. Sometimes on the river we just feel like floating right now. Beautiful. Hear all the birds. You can hear the biting flies buzzing by our heads. So some sections move pretty quick, some of them are kind of slower. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a rainstorm here, but kind of serendipitous here. We have a little bridge. Still kind of chilling out underneath here. We got our rain gear on, so we can head out there. I'll turn the phone around. I don't know if it shows much, but we got our rain gear on here. You can see the bridge. Just chilling. We each got a brook trout. That was fun. So, yeah. Make a pretty good time for the day. So, we're thinking that this rain kind of hit us. I mean, look how hard it's pouring. And it's about lunchtime. So I decided to pull over and then make ourselves some lunch. Got some rolls here as well. We're gonna eat some lunch while it's raining. Classy. Okay, so good morning, everybody. This is day 4. Yesterday was an extremely kind of discouraging day. It was downpour, raining the entire time. Like, seriously, I've never seen it. It seems like I've never seen it rain so much, right? And we had to portage over one of the dams one time, and it was just complete downpour the entire time. Just when we thought it couldn't rain any harder, it rained harder. So I'm going to have a recap at the end of the video on some tips, things that we found out. So want to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes. But yeah, it still has been fun. I know some of the stuff that we should do next time to make it more fun, more enjoyable. So anyway, I'm right down here by the riverbed. I left our canoe here. We also left a few other things down here we didn't feel like carrying up to the tent area or the camp up there. So yeah, so this is day 4. We are, it's hard to tell now, but maybe 85 miles in, and of the 120. We have a couple big reservoirs to do, and we have 4 dams to portage. Now we want to, that's gonna be a lot. 4 dams to portage with, we have too much stuff and our canoe's too heavy, but we want to try, and we're hoping for good weather today. See, the skies are nice and blue. Hopefully it stays that way, because we're hoping to get at least 3 of the dams out of the way. That way tomorrow, our last day, it'll make for a fairly easy day by comparison. That's, we kind of been doing that, is kind of going further, going harder than what we had planned, setting ourselves up for the next day. And it's like that each day we do it again. So we are ahead, which is good. We're exhausted every day, but it's been fun. And today, hopefully we get 3 of the 4 dams portaged, and we're in a good position for a nice, enjoyable, easy Monday as we paddle into Lake Huron. All right, so got some coffee, a nice Yeti mug. This Yeti mug was a gift from my son's girlfriend's family. It was awesome. Thank you. And yeah, so we're gonna get stuff going, and might skip breakfast today. Gonna hit the river and get some paddling in. Let's go. Okay, so we're off. This is the third morning, Thursday, fourth morning, 3 nights, fourth morning. The first night we got off by 9 a.m. That was after the first night. After the second night, we were off by 8:45. Today, 8:30. We're getting better, folks. Getting better. All right. We're sitting pretty good as far as distance and stuff. It's just that portaging on dams. We got a lot of them, so better get paddling. Okay, so as my brother was pointing out here, you go through the mountains and there's semis where their brakes don't work anymore, and they have these like runaway kind of areas that kind of go up the things. What do you do if your canoe is a runaway? What do you do there? Well, that's what this is for. Got a runaway canoe. Oh, gotta go right up there on that. So hey, the more you know. Bet you didn't know that, huh? So check your brakes on your canoe from now on. If not, you have some of those positioned right there for you. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Good stuff. All right, so we're on one of the backflows here before another dam to Portage. And we did see, just today, we saw a bald eagle flying around. And I know they have quite a large territory and area, but I don't know if this eagle's nest was for the one that we saw. I'm zooming in, sorry, it's a little shaky here because of it's a kind of windy day today. So it's rocking the canoe. But anyway, so there's this eagle's nest yonder. It's a decent sized reservoir. For a bit here, the wind was just pushing it across, so Tom kind of laid back and kind of took it easy, and I did the same, and free power from the wind. Headed that way. Okay, so this is the end of day 3, and again we went way further than what we were targeting, so we're around 80 miles now. So found this little campsite here. Here's our canoe flipped over. So it's a really nice little site back here. We portaged another dam today. It was complete downpour, raining the entire day. We're sopping wet. Tom's getting the fire going here. Got the tent set up. So there are flames there. It's going. So anyway, I'm low on battery, so I'm gonna kind of keep this video short, and this will be it for this location. I'll try to get another one shot tomorrow. So day 3, complete, 80 miles of the 120 done. All right, guys, we did it. Sorry I didn't have more footage during it, but my battery's kind of low. So 120 miles, insane. So here we are, Lake Huron. Just went out the channel, so you can see the channel right there. There's a couple boats that were coming in. One, it's funny, he slowed right down for us, but even that size of boat is huge waves. So anyway, I'm going to turn it off my phone now. I'm going to have a little update after this once I get home and recharge my phone. So thanks for watching, guys, and why don't you try it sometime? It's fun. Okay, guys, back home now. It's the next day. Just a little recap of everything from the trip. It was a great trip, about 120 miles from Grayling out to Oscoda, Michigan at Lake Huron. Absolutely loved it. There were 6 dams to portage, up and over and around and down. A lot of work. The whole trip was a lot of work. So, if anyone, you think about a trip like this, everyone thinks, oh, you're just floating downstream. That's not what you're doing. It's a lot of physical. It's probably the most physical thing I've ever had to do. Love that I did it. So I jotted down a few things here. But wildlife, holy cow, so much wildlife. Here's some of that we remembered that we saw. We saw 3 fawns right down by the water. It was great. Countless deer. Saw some bald eagles. Saw one our last night there. We were camping, and I saw off in the distance a bird flying, and then I heard a loon. And this bird dove down into the water and caught a fish, and When it came out of the water and started flying, I kind of thought to myself, that's flying like an eagle. And I was just watching, and it's getting kind of a little closer and closer. And sure enough, it was a nice bald eagle. So that was really cool. We saw, and you saw in one of the videos, there's a nest that I put on there. Tons of river otters. We weren't sure at first what they were, but looked it up and quite positive they're river otters. But it could definitely have been something else, but quite positive they're river otters. There's tons of them. They look pretty adorable. Probably wouldn't want me petting them though, right? I actually saw porcupine down by the water. Saw tons of mallards. Saw a, I might be mispronouncing this, merganser duck, the common merganser. Tons of them up there. But what's interesting is we never saw them with mallards. It was either mallards or the merganser duck. Tons of Canadian geese, as I'm sure you would imagine. Blue herons, tons of blue herons. Those things are amazing. Saw a bunch of loons. So even saw a turkey, kind of like do a little flutter across from one riverbank to the other side to the other riverbank. So absolutely beautiful. Tons of, like I said, there's 6 dams, tons of like water, having to like paddle through these reservoirs, backwaters from the dams. They're just huge lakes, and it can be kind of frustrating sometimes how it feels like you're not moving when you're paddling. You just got to keep a positive attitude. If you're with someone else, kind of feed off each other's positivity and stay positive. Even for, if it's for them or for yourself, staying positive helps a tremendous amount. Now, we learned a lot. If any of you have done stuff like this, you probably saw what we packed and brought in. You started laughing at that because we overpacked, way overpacked. It's something we definitely won't do again. The biggest thing with overpacking is we didn't consider the portages up and around and down the dams. That's what made it hard. So if you're doing something like this, make sure everything you bring can fit in a single pack, like a hiker's backpack, or smaller, but definitely no bigger than that. Bring dry packs for anything you don't want to get wet. Whether it be your sleeping bag, cold clothes, warm clothes, things like that. My brother's sleeping bag, the second to last night, it got wet, and he did not enjoy that too much. Make sure you bring rain gear, of course, right? However, also make sure you bring rain gear to that can cover your pack if you need to. Some packs come with a big poncho. Mine did. We used it kind of as a tarp. But biggest thing, make sure your footwear is can stay dry. It's huge. My hiking boots from this, I threw them out because a Saturday when it poured all day, and being on a camping trip, those just stunk so bad, and I'm not dealing with it. I threw them out. I'm gonna get a new pair. So something to think about. Learn from our mistakes. My mistake. Make sure you have a very light canoe. Test it. Make sure you can throw it on. If you are alone, that you can move it. Ours was too heavy. Ours is kind of more for if you're canoeing lakes and things like that, not portaging. But we were able to do it, throw it over our heads and carry it up and over. But it's just much easier if you have a light canoe, or if you can go with a kayak, or 2 kayaks if there's 2 of you. One other thing, the Saturday, all that rain you saw, tons and tons of rain. It was just downpours. We're out there. People were looking at us like, why are you on the lake, on the water? And then when we thought it couldn't downpour anymore, it downpoured more. Turns out there was a tornado not too far away from where we were. So anyone kind of looking at us, kind of giving us kind of funny looks like, why are those guys out there canoeing during a tornado warning? That'd be why, but we had no cell phone service. We didn't know. So that's the other thing. You can get one of those satellite kind of communicators 2-way. So it hooks up with the app on your phone, and it will use satellites to check stuff like weather. You can send out some messages through their app. There's no monthly charge on them. We're going to Isle Royale this summer, and we're going to definitely have one for when we're up there. But it's something else to consider depending on where you're going. All in all, it's an amazing trip. Finishing it, going through the channel out to Lake Huron, pretty emotional for me. I loved it because that's such a huge accomplishment and feat that we did. And I'm really happy that my brother came and he was able to do it as well. And those of you who know him know that that is something that is huge, that he was able to do this too. So I highly recommend doing something like this. We want to go back to do some shorter segments of this, which reminds me, if you do something like this, either make it a canoeing trip or a fishing trip. Really hard to make it both. We tried to do some fishing. We each caught a trout. We saw tons of trout. We saw bass. We saw suckers. We saw pike. But that would be my recommendation. Either make it a fishing trip or a canoeing trip. Don't try to do both. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you lasted through this whole thing. And if you did, I really appreciate it. And take care. Get outside. It's great out there. See you guys.